All-wheel drive cars. I'm choosing the GR Yaris because it drives nice and it's a fairly low horsepower for four-wheel drive. And the settings, basically just a front-wheel drive front end and a rear-wheel drive rear end, and usual dampers that I like. Cambers 2.5 should probably be at 2.8. Oops, 2.8 because the tires are fairly narrow. And usual Gran Turismo gearing. There's not much to say. Oh yeah, the differential, front wheel drive, front differential, rear wheel drive, rear differential. This car is a short wheelbase, so it's more oversteery, so have the initial and braking sensitivity fairly locked compared to other cars. Yeah, it's pretty simple. And then I'll show some other cars that have different weight distributions after this one. Oh, too slow. Very stable. So the problem with most of these cars, I think this one has one, but the other cars, they have open center differentials. Oh, a little too fast. And the problem with the open center differential on a four-wheel drive car is it performs too much like a... Did I say front-wheel drive? No, the problem with an open differential on a four-wheel drive car is that it performs too much like a front-wheel drive car on throttle. There's no differential preventing the front end from spinning up like a front-wheel drive car. Whoa, too fast. I was focusing on what I was saying rather than actually driving. Not a very good lap, but I don't necessarily care to drive a perfect lap right now. On to the next car. And the fastest time for this car was a 23.4. Alright, on to what do I want to do next? I'm going to do the Lancer Evo 96. I'll do that one next. So the reason why I prefer the Evo as a platform over the Impreza as a platform is the engine placement and design. So Subaru is known for their Boxer 4 engine, 4-cylinder flat 4. And there's only one way to mount that engine, and that is with a longitudinal transmission and with the motor basically in front of the front wheels. And albeit it's a very short motor, it's still in front of the front wheels because the front axles are connected to the transmission, which is behind the engine. Anyway, and the Lancer as a platform, as a car, as a daily driver car, I don't know about its issues. Apparently it's got a reputation. But as a platform, the 4-cylinder inline engine is vertically mounted, right? Like most inline engines, but it's transverse. So the length of the engine is from front wheel to front wheel, making it the weight distribution further backwards compared to the Subaru. And I haven't well, this is the Group B car. Where's the, oh, hang on. I'm gonna find the newer Mitsubishi. Where's it at? GTO Lancer GSR 96. Here's a 2015. So I just wanted to select it so it's at the top. This also has, I haven't driven this one. I want to compare this one to this one some other time. I'm not going to drive it right now. But this WRX still has the Boxer 4 mounted in front of the front wheels, and I want to know how it compares to this one. I've compared these two, and I prefer the Lancer over the Impreza. So I'm going to drive this one right now. And this one has its own issues. So because of the engine placement, it oversteers a lot more on the brakes. Or you think it... Is that right? It does. But it still has the open differential problem, so the front spring is still really soft and the interrolls are really soft because it still understeers on throttle. I think it has... So I don't want to change this. It has AYC. Replace the differential gear. So this could possibly be a an active center differential, but limited slip differentials in the front and rear are better than just an active center differential for performance. And I could probably open these up a little bit. I tried it and it didn't seem to do much. I should probably try it. 30 would probably be enough. I'm gonna see it, just try it on 5, see what that does. Alright. I didn't get the time with that setting. I got the time with the more locked setting. Yeah, it still understeers on throttle. There's an understeer. So it oversteers quite well on the brakes. And off throttle I can do lift off oversteer a little bit. Still understeering a little bit. There's a Scandinavian flick. Does that well. Oh. So basically, it needs a limited slip differential in the center. That's the flaw of that car. Now I'm going to drive the Subaru 2015. Oh, where is it? Race settings. The WRX 2014, actually. And the benefit of this car is it has a torque split. and I still don't know if it has a limited slip center differential, or if it does, doesn't seem. I don't know. Oh, actually, no. This would be limited slip. This would affect the limited slip differential. So if I set it to 50-50, it would be pretty much locked. Yeah. So this is the center differential effectively. However, it's more active in that it can deliver more power to the rear, which center differential alone wouldn't be able to do. Oh, I didn't go over the settings. Go back. One second. Gotta handle a text. Texting about dinner. I have a really nice situation where my roommates get me dinner. Let's see. I'll go back to the settings now. Didn't talk it over. Understeers a lot, so basically really soft front end and really soft anti-roll. Usual these damper settings. This is a ratio, a percent. So even though this is a higher percent than this, it's still a much lower damping speed. Or sorry, not lower, much faster. Is that right? Yeah, much faster damping speed than this one. So 60% of whatever spring rate this is, 67% of whatever spring rate this is, the compression, critical compression damping, 60% of that is still softer than 58% of whatever the spring rate is. So I can't really benefit from the dampers at this point, except that I get a little bit more control over the weight with the stiffer front damper. Usual front wheel drive front end, rear wheel drive rear end. Basically, you don't want the inside front tire spinning up, so more lock is better for front wheel drive or front driven wheels. So if you set it up like a front wheel drive car, it should perform better, in theory anyway. Alright, driving it. Still understeers a little bit on throttle, but you can throttle oversteer this car. It just takes some wheel work. I don't remember the braking zone since I last drove. It's been a couple days. So because of the torque split, it performs much better than the old Mitsubishi. I have to try the new Mitsubishi. So I gotta try this with a 50-50 torque split, see what happens. Alright, I'm gonna see if it still throttle oversteers. Technically, it should throttle oversteer more. Nope, throttle understeer. Oops, I'm looking at my text message. So it's understeering more. I should be able to pull the front end around. Can it do donuts? I'm gonna go to the skid pad. See if this car can do donuts. Oops, going too fast. It's getting good rotation on throttle, but it won't oversteer. Alright, here we go. Do some donuts. First gear. How about change the view? Doing alright. Oh, it reset me. Try that again. Oh, I can't clutch kick. So it's doing donuts properly, where it just rotates basically in the center of the car. So the physics are alright. I just can't get enough weight transfer. I think the rear, even as stiff as the rear anti-roll is, it's still not stiff enough to get the car sliding like it should be able to on throttle. Anyway, that's that car. Let's see what time. Did I set a time for this? I don't remember if I set a time for this car. 24.9. Significantly slower than the GR Yaris. I did the Evo. Was also a 24.9. Yeah. And what was I going to do? I was going to drive the Audi TT. Did I change this one? I don't have it saved properly. I didn't change the settings on this. Maybe I wasn't planning on doing this one. Yeah, I wasn't planning on driving this car. Instead, I will try and compare the new Lancer. So I can't compare if the settings aren't set up right, but the weight distribution is probably, well, it's still more center than the Subaru, probably really close to the same. Set this at 210. There we go. Near the end. At 150. Set this at, what was that, 4? No, it was at 1. 10. 58. 67. Max it out. Oh, too far. 2.8. 8. Here we go. AYC. I'm going to try with the AYC on. AYC controller. Because if I do that, I don't have the AYC. Manual transmission. So this is my usual setting. Max this out. And maxing it out first affects the actual setting for the first year and 6th year. The max range, essentially. Make that as tall as possible, make this as short as possible. Even out the gear spacing. Good enough. And it's done. I'm going to try tuning the AYC controller. So its current setting sucks, it's understeering a lot. Okay, that's too bad. It's not even worth trying to drive. I'm going to try it on the maximum setting. What does it say it does? It regulates the yaw moments. Better cornering performance. It doesn't say what the range does. Let's try it at the maximum. Still understeers on throttle. Really bad. So the AYC works really well off throttle. Car just wants to understeer on throttle. So off throttle, it's able to rotate like that. Still doesn't drive the way I want it to. I'm going to try it with the limited slip differentials. So I tested the rear, weird stutter there. The rear initial torque. Here we go. With the Subaru, and it didn't improve the driving, so I'm going to leave it at 54. And then what else? Is that it? Brake balance, I think set it to 2 or something. Oh, too late on the brakes. I made it to the braking zone. Yeah, I don't like it. Just understeers on throttle. With maximum rear anti-roll bar, it should oversteer. Anyway, the GR Yaris performs really nice, and I think it's due to the wheelbase. It has a shorter wheelbase than the Lancer or the Subaru, and a much better weight distribution. Till the next one.